Why, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 18 of Two Idiots Learn to Code, a brain drain series. I am Idiot Davie, or Amax Games Davie, and I am here to continue working on our brain drain game. For those of you who have not been following the series, what we're trying to do here at Amax Games is make ethical games that are also free. That means that we're not trying to treat our customers like walking wallets with overpriced in-app purchase payments. And we are also not trying to basically force an ad after every single movement that you make in a game. So there's plenty of games out there at the moment where we see that you play 20 seconds of gameplay and then got a 30-second ad. So as a result of that, it's a bit of a pain in the backside, and I don't want to go with that one. We don't want to go down that route. So we're trying to be as ethical as possible. Well, we will have ads in our game. They will be few and far between. We'll place banner ads and things like settings, pause menus, etc. in order to continue with that. So those of you who've been following us know that I have a snagging list for this application. And things to consider. And I also have some ideas that I want to try and implement. So today we're going to try and implement some of these because I spent a lot of time trying to chase a problem with the audio playback that I didn't quite get fixed last night. And I don't really want to waste more time working on that just now. That might be one of those things that we actually have that is not actually done live on stream because it's very time consuming and not really very useful to watch. It's not very entertaining to watch. Not to say that this might be entertaining. I mean, some people might like watching the mistakes here. The whole idea behind Amax Games is that we're going to be transparent, so you will see us screwing things up on stream, and that's kind of one of the reasons I decided to create this series. The music's to have a look at the list we've got. Music volumes aren't staying when we go into settings and then we jump back to our main menu. The music volume is jumping. Still don't know why. The music doesn't play when we switch scenes. To be fair, I also need to create new music for it. That's possibly one for another day. I don't know if that's worth streaming actually. Teaching people, or I'd say teaching people how to use GarageBand. I don't know how to use GarageBand, so allow fuzzy matching to be optional in settings. I think we implemented fuzzy matching last night, which means that if your answer is like 80% right based on an algorithm, then it will give you the point. So the matrix would still be classed as a pass. I need to check that we have a plus hints button on physical devices. I'm also having issues with the physical devices not scaling correctly. So I'll need to add that one here. So settings, page not scaling correctly on a physical device. I'm testing this on a tablet at the moment because it's the only Android device that I actually have that is a current enough version of Android, since Google has stopped supporting older versions of Androids in the SDK. I believe version 33. SDK version 33 is now the main one that they're pushing. Everything else has been deprecated. And I've got some Android 10 and Android 11 devices here, so I'm probably going to have to bite the bullet and purchase a couple of devices at some point, as well as iOS devices, and this is going to get very expensive very quickly. However, the whole idea behind this is we're trying to run the company on a shoestring budget, so at the moment we're using what we've got a hold of. So and the stats page not scaling correctly on physical devices. So there's now a couple of snagging things to add. Right, but let's pick something nice and easy. Okay, so change streak color when active or ended. So if the streak, English is hard. I swear it's my first language. The streak color will be green when you're winning, and it will be red when it has ended. And if you're approaching it, we might make it yellow, so we will see. So let's close this one down. And we shall open up our guru. Hopefully the sound's not too bad. I'm still trying to use the H1 zoom and the lapel microphone. I mean, my levels do look pretty decent. Okay, so what are we looking for? Code review suggestions, quiz database ideas. I think we were playing in here, weren't we? Okay, we asked it for a code review, didn't we? Don't remember if, I think we enabled some of these. Okay, I've kind of forgot where we were, so. Let's start with giving it our brain drain. Well, I'll need to open it actually. So let's go back to Unity. Oh, that's ChatGPT. Where's Unity? Oh, my Unity has crashed. By the looks of it. Oh, there it's there. It's hiding from me. Okay, so let's open brain drain quiz. Okay. Give it a moment to open. It opens them all anyway, to be fair. Okay, copy. I did have to make a change offline. I better point that out now. This would not compile when I was testing it in a physical device because of this player prefs debugger. It's something I put in to check the player prefs, make sure everything was saving correctly. So I've just changed it by adding these two lines, if Unity underscore editor and end if. Basically, this will only actually trigger if we're inside the Unity editor, which means it won't trigger and compile, and therefore the game will compile correctly. So with that in mind, now let's copy this and feed it to ChatGPT. And here is my brain drain quiz.yes. How can I make the streak show red when not active, yellow when nearly active, and green when active? Let's see if it can do that. And that's a good start. No. Try again. Oh, apparently not. Okay, so copy that. We'll try that again. Wow, it is just not responding. This could be my shortest stream yet. Okay, let's try asking it without the question then. Let's just copy most of this. If I Control V again, and I take out the question. Oh, is ChatGPT having issues? New chat. Oh, that's code. Oh, and it's worked it out now. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, within 3 sounds good. Ooh, actually that may be quite good. Yes, make it pulse. And is active. So now we change our update score UI. Oh, our chief of security has arrived to say hello. Hey, Spiky. Probably just deafened headphone users looking down to talk to him now, since my mic is just below my neck. Lie down, kitten. Wow, my update score UI is like 10 lines, and it's going to jump quite drastically here. That's update score UI, isn't it? Yep. Okay. Okay, that's fine. And then I need to add these two. So I'll add, you know what? I think I can just paste this in, but we'll try. As always, I try and paste it down the bottom. Is this going to put me over the 1,000 lines for a single script? No, it's not. And it's not making that spiky. Okay, so that it didn't like that. So let's do Control Z, Control Z, 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 Z. Okay, it did not like that. Why did it not like that? Because it should have been there. Am I missing something from the copy? I am. I'm missing 2 brackets from the copy. Well, that might actually have something to do with it. So copy that. Let's go back here. Control Z, Z. It's looking healthier, and I'm still not over 1,000 lines for a single script, but hopefully we're getting it. So let's save this. It's an extra line I don't need in there. Okay, I think we're probably good here. So let's save it. Now we'll strip the extra line, jump across into Unity, which is still compiling as we can see here. Okay, so what do I need to do? Right, do you know what I need to do? I need to hit play and play the game. Okay, so everything there seems fine. So I want to go to my tools, my debug, and my player prefs. And I want to see what is my streak. Oh, it doesn't seem to show my streak. I might need to edit that. Right, so let's try round mode. In fact, is streak in round mode? I can't remember. I don't think streak is in round mode. Also, I'm not playing a sound now when I get an answer correct. That's interesting. Okay, so yeah, I think the streak's only in. Let's quit that. Yeah, streaks in survival mode. So the streak's red because I'm not in it. I'm not near it. So 1, 2. I think the streak was about 14. 3, 4, 5. Yep. Oh. Alright, so I'm going to quit that. Go back to survival mode. So, oh, it didn't save the streak there. Maybe that's because I quit, but we'll try that again. Right. So 1, streak's red. 2, streak's red. 3, the streak is yellow. So that's right, so we're near the streak. 4, 5, we've beaten the streak, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And let's just break my streak. Well, actually, it's going to be difficult to do that when I've got fuzzy matching them. Okay, there's a problem with the scrolling there, so I'll need to thingy things about. Okay, yeah, so my final score was 19. Go quit. Okay. So I think we can say that that's successful. So let's go back to our games playing again. Let's go back to this. The streak color can now change. And we'll strike through that. Banner add on the settings page. Okay, so the easiest way to do that would be to go to our stats page. Our stats panel controller. Because I'm sure it's in here. Actually, one of the other options was to move stats into settings as well. I definitely think I need to work on settings, so I think it's maybe worth taking time to do that just now. So I'm just going to save all this just now. I'm going to bring up if you noticed, I'm not running the emulator anymore. I'm showing the game screen as an attempt to try and kind of put this, shrink this all down and make sure everything works correctly. Again, we're new to this. We're not full-time programmers, we're not professional programmers, we're not professional streamers, we're basically not professionals at this point. So we're going to make mistakes, we're going to get things wrong, and that's sort of part of the learning curve here for us. Okay, so if I change that to float, then okay, so that could be moved up there. But where's the close button? Let's just hide the background canvas for a moment. There should be a close button still hidden. That's why, you idiot. Yeah, okay, so the close button's there. So if I go back to the canvas, the close button is in the wrong area. So let's grab this, bring it up. Okay, drop it there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to anchor, and while it's stretched, I'm also, is it Alt or Shift or one of these? And I want to align it to bottom center. Bottom center, right? So that should stay there. Okay. So hopefully I can now disable these and they will work. I'll have to check these in physical devices, which actually means I'm going to have to jump out and test this. I can't actually show you that yet. I did attempt to point a video camera at a phone in order to test this, and my capture card decided it wasn't playing the game, so I thought rather than delay the stream that I would continue without that particular way of showing things. But as more and more of these problems on the snagging list are only appearing in physical devices, I can see that being a requirement at some point going forward. So The other one would be our settings canvas. So I'm guessing this is hidden too. Yeah. So this one's a bit of a disaster. So it doesn't really tell us what these are for. So I think we need to add 2 text fields on this canvas. So right, oops. Don't know why I keep zooming in like that. It's quite annoying. So right click, UI, Text Mesh Pro. Okay, and then duplicate. Yeah, okay, so the first one will be, come on, rename. Music. You. Music volume text. And the second one will be SFX volume text. Okay, so I need to go in here and music volume. And then in here, and change that to SFX volume. Okay. So we then have to change these to auto size. Okay. And then we move them to the required slots. So that one moves up there. And that one moves up there. Okay. So now we need to duplicate another one because we need a third one. And this one will be called difficulty. If you could spell, of course, or type. Okay. We shall rename that difficulty text. Okay, and I'm also going to duplicate this one again. And I'm going to call that, oops, name difficulty label text. Okay, take that off the end. And I'm going to change the text in this one because it's easy. Medium. Hard. Okay, that one needs to go over there. Okay, maybe I can't do it that way. I need to do it this way. Okay, I think that's as close as I'm going to get then. They probably don't need to be auto size, do they? Maybe they do. Okay, right, we'll try that for a start. So let's save these. Okay. And justify, oops, hit play, just to test this. Of course, I've hidden the canvas. Okay, so yeah, there's an issue with the alignment there, but we're fine with that. So if I go back to our stats panel, it's going to play again. Come on. Okay, nope, still going to play again. You can see how bad my left button's having an issue with when I do things like this. Okay, no. I need to find if there's a keyboard shortcut for this. It may be the easier option. There will be, I'm sure. Oh, come on! Right. So need to hide this canvas so it doesn't get in the way. And then open my settings panel. And the difficulty text should be above the difficulty slider. Difficulty text label should be above the difficulty slider. Yep. Difficulty text should probably be centered. Yeah. Okay. What do we think? I think that looks better. Okay. So let's save this. And again, disable and re-enable. Okay, try playing again. Okay, so now click on settings. Sound effects, volume, music volume's fine. See medium and hard, easy, medium. I think hard probably needs to be moved up a little bit. Or maybe yeah, I think hard needs to move up a bit, just a couple of spaces, nothing too severe. Although actually wasn't it at the maximum before it moved over? Let me check that. That's going to play again, isn't it? Yeah. Right, so come on, stop playing. Right, so again, hide canvas, open settings, show canvas. Text of clear labels. That's not really helping. That's too far. Maybe like that. Hopefully that it scales correctly. Right. Okay, so I'm also going to add I'm going to add the stats button as well. So I'm just going to duplicate the close button and rename it to stats button. Okay. So stats, move it above the close. Okay, and show stats panel. Done. Okay, so in theory, I also need to add the button textures and the button hover to these. Can't remember if I add it on a button per button basis or not. Oh, you idiot, you've got hiding things. Come on. Settings. Yep. Stats. Close. Ooh, okay, so right, so that, yeah, that needs to change. But it works, sort of. Okay. Oh, come on. Is there a keyboard shortcut for play? Which menu is it in? Control P, what a random keyboard shortcut. Okay, so that works right. What I need, let's click on one of these buttons here because, no, not on the stats panel. And the canvas, main canvas here. Okay, so settings button. Right, so it's assigned a texture and it's assigned the hover script, right? That's fine. So to get in here, so test sound effect button needs to have button hover. Restore defaults needs to have a button hover. Stats needs to have a button hover. And close settings needs to have a button hover. Okay, so then go back to test sound effects. Need to go back here. I need to go into sprites. No, scheiße. But we're all right. So sound effects button. And I think I drag this to the sprite image. Yeah, looks like it. Okay. So let's play this and try again. Control and P, let's try this. Awesome. I'm going to set up a keyboard shortcut and one of my macro keys for that. Okay, so settings, there we go. Our buttons are now, ooh, buttons are a bit screw with. Okay, so size needs edited a little bit in them. In fact, yeah, the sliders need to come in a little bit as well. Okay, so that's fine. So again, let's hide this. Let's go over here and open the settings panel. Okay, so toggle music slider. Give me a resize. Bring it in a little bit. Can I not bring that in? I cannot bring that in. I cannot bring that in. Why can I bring that in? Does that mean the settings panel? No, settings panel's covered fine. Okay, can I do it with the stats button? Can I bring it in? Interesting. The close button's now off the bottom. Is it not? In fact, no. Stats restore text. Yeah. What happened to the close? Oh, the close button's hidden. I accidentally hid the close button. Right. So close button. Select the button. Okay, so then we need to go up here. And it's going to be from the vertical layout group. 35. Ah, okay, there's no pad on either side, right? That'll be why. 25, right? 25 and 25. Yeah. And we'll give 5 spacing. 10. 25. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We're getting there. So I then need to look at the difficulty label. Okay. Try that. Medium probably wants to come up a bit. Okay. Wonder if I just justified that. That worked. Right, okay, so now we've got this in. Let's try that. So let's nuke our settings panel and bring up our canvas. We should probably do a background in there. I kind of like the blue though. Okay, and then we'll do our Control P. Okay, so I need more padding, but that's looking better. Yeah, definitely looking better. Okay. stop that. Right, so again, still some tweaks needed. So back here, probably needing some more from the left and right. What do we think? 50 maybe? That's not going to work. Well, it will, but I can't see anything to do anything about it. So. Right. Hide that again. Show this canvas. Now hit play. Okay, settings. That's looking much better. That's still too much of a jump for them though. So it is. See, they've got a much bigger gap. Don't think I'm using. I think I reconfigured all these, didn't I? Yeah, I reconfigured these. I didn't actually put a panel in for these because it was irritating me. So, yeah. Set panel. So, 75. And try again. Tweak, test, tweak, test. Rinse and repeat. Okay, go to settings. Oof. Okay, the hard's wrong now, but that's fine. We can fix that. So canvas, hide, canvas, show. Okay, and difficult label text. Something like that. Okay. Let's hide that. And now show that. And then do Control and P. Okay, settings. Easy, medium, hard, I like. This looks fine. This looks fine. Okay, awesome. Close. Close works. Okay, awesome. Control P. Okay, so we've now brought that back in. We want to look at the stats panel. Look at the stats panel. Close button, basically. Actually, it's hide stats panel. And it's that one. It's the main menu dot set active. I actually think if I just nuke that with a comment, I might fix this. Let's jump back in here. Okay, then we do our Control P. Settings look fine. Stats look fine. Close is fine. Yeah. Ta-da! Close that one. We're back here. Awesome. Okay. So that means I can hide that stats button. And boom. Oh, no, can't do that because it's still running. Come on. Okay, so we've got to hide our stats button. Now I can come in later on and clean this up, right? Because we might need to bring it back for some reason, but hopefully not. Okay, so with that in mind, I can do that. See, we're getting there. Okay. So let's go back to our snagging list. Move stats page to the settings page. Is now done. Now let's try that again. Oh, no, there's no excuse for that one. That was just you being an idiot, Davie. There we go. Right. So let's go back to our guru for now. This doesn't know about our stats page, or settings page actually. Let's do this. Where's settings manager? Okay. Here. Here is my settings manager.cs. How can I add this? I'm going to add what appears when this page is open, and disappears when I close it. Okay, so we want to assign our Unity Ad Manager. Do you know what? I'm going to do a backup in here. So fixed some scaling issues, fixed some volume issues, moved stats to settings page, cleaned up settings page. Okay, and we'll check that in. Okay. So hopefully We should now be able to do this nice and easy. Okay, so we were integrating an add on the settings page, right? So we've got open and close settings. Did it say? Yeah, open settings and close settings. Okay, sweet. Right, so Uni Ads Manager. Okay. Public open settings, public close settings. So change these. Okay, save this. Depending on the new ads manager numbers there. If you don't really have one ad manager, pretty sure they're still there. I'm pretty sure they are there. Okay, place banner Android with a banner ID placement in your Unity dashboard. I'm pretty sure that's set up. I think we'll keep it simple for the time being. Right. Okay. So I won't be able to test it. I can test whether or not this is broken, but I will not be able to test this without copying it to a physical device. And I do have a physical device connected. I mean, I can do that, but you won't be able to see that. So okay, so what I will actually do, since I've got an Android connected, is I will show you how the build goes, and I will try and make a physical build on this. So I'll go to File, and I'll go to Build Settings. Okay, I've got Android, it's connected to my Samsung. I'll click Build. I'm going to do a clean build. It's going to ask me to save it, so I will save it, and then click Yes. And it will start building for Android. It's nice and easy to test on Android, unlike on Apple. Apple stuff's terrible to develop on. Okay, it's taken a minute and a half so far. Two and a half minutes. Come on. Ooh, over 4 minutes. It's amazing how long this stuff actually takes when you're doing this. I mean, I know I could do it within your laptop, but again, that doesn't kind of fit in with the ethos of the company at the moment. I mean, if Cyber Power Systems or somebody wants to reach out, Dell maybe, MSI, you want to reach out and give a couple of idiot developers some machines to test on, I'm sure we'll take it. We would find a way to sneak it into our content. Nobody's going to be interested in sponsoring a channel with 13 subs, we're fine. For those of you who don't realise I'm joking. Ooh, over 5 minutes. See, this is why it's going to be difficult for me when I have to test these on physical devices to actually show you guys, because I'll have to find, excuse me, like 6 or 7 minutes where I just rabbit on about something random. Maybe I should have like a list of jokes or something and just throw them in during compilation time. Could have ChatGPT generate some calls, some jokes for me. And my laptop's sounding like it's about to take off. It's beginning to calm down now, but we're over the 7 minute mark. I'm dreading how long it's going to take to try and, because the Mac that I'm using for development has basically been modified so that I can run the latest version of OS X, so that I can run the latest version of Xcode, so I can actually use it for game development. But it's a 2012 edition Mac, so it's a 13-year-old Mac. Granted, I mean, it was the top end Mac Mini when I bought it. It had 16 gigs of RAM, and it had a 500 gig internal drive, maybe a terabyte, can't remember. And I did swap it with an SSD, so it is running off an SSD. And it is the Core i7 Intel, but yeah. Man, 8 minutes, I think this is the longest this has ever taken. It's probably because I'm sitting waiting on it. And it knows I have to entertain you while I'm doing so. Man, 9 minutes, is this going to be a 10-minute job? Is it really going to take 10 minutes to compile this? Of course, I mean, I am doing a clean build because of all the changes I've actually made to this, but previously it wouldn't have been such an issue because I could do the patch and run, or the patch that you see on the build to device option at the top. It'll be interesting to see with Android's new not allowing side-loaded apps how that's going to affect processes like this. Are they going to get a lot tighter like Apple's process? We've got to give it, what's it called? You've got to give it certificates, that's the word I'm looking for, and things like that. No, I think we're about to break 10 minutes. It really makes me wonder how feasible it is to use something like Unity for games like for PlayStation 5 or Xbox or something that's actually really like high end, using cutting edge graphics. Like if it's a simple game like this and it's taken over 10 minutes to render. I mean, I suppose when you're building games for those systems and something like Grand Theft Auto 6 or whatever, you're probably going to have a render farm for this stuff, but it's not really the point. $11? Jeez. I mean, if you see the CPP, that's C++, so it is actually the compilation that's actually taking its time. It's compiling all the files. I wonder if because Android's based on ARM technology, and mostly on ARM technology, and iOS, Apple Silicon is ARM technology. I wonder if that would actually mean it would be faster to compile since it's using native technology. I doubt it though, because C++ isn't going to care, I suppose. This is the thing, I can't really go in, and you can't test any of this, and I don't want to drop like $3 grand on a Mac Studio only to find out that you know, I'm not any better off with the compilation times. Yeah. Oh, we seem to have been making some progress. Here was me thinking it was going to be a 15-minute compile time. And at the moment it's sitting at 12 and a half minutes. Might make it to 13. So much for it finishing in 13 minutes. Yay! There we go. That didn't run it. 12 minutes and it did not actually run it. I thought it would have, but never mind. So we'll do patch and run on the remote machine. So I presume when you do a clean build, because when you do a clean build, it literally just builds it, doesn't run it, hence you've got to do the build and run afterwards. Kind of makes sense, to be honest. Wonder if I could port this to WebGL. Making it a Facebook game or something like that as well. Try and get a different type of audience. All the boomers stuck in Facebook. Jumping in and out of Facebook jail. Because their opinions are not in line with the tech gurus. Oh, looks like that worked. Yep, I can see the midwith unit screen popping up. Now my Amax Games logo. And it crashed. It actually crashed. Well, that's interesting. Still thinks it's doing something though. That's not a good sign. Let's see if I rerun the game. Does that help? See if it crashes again. I've just run the game directly from a device. Yeah, that seemed to have worked. Okay, front page looks fine. Settings looks fine. Okay, I need to bring the bottom up a bit because the close button's hiding behind the advert, sort of. So I definitely need to add some more padding to the bottom to allow for the advert. Stats panel comes up. Everything looks fine in the stats panel. Close button looks fine. Close button there looks fine. And the quit button. Awesome. Okay. So that was 12 minutes to take 10 seconds to do tests. Okay. So, okay, from what we learned there, nice and quickly, I need to go in here. I need to disable this canvas. I need to go to our settings canvas. I need to open our settings panel. Okay, I need to add some more padding to the bottom. So go for 75. No, that's not going to be close enough. 125 maybe. That might be about right. Do you know what? I'll do 150 just to be on the safe side. Okay. I shall save that. And again, I shall now hide that. I shall bring the other one forward. And I shall go to our build settings. And I shall do patch and run. Shouldn't take as long though this time because it's only part of it that's being recompiled, effectively. The statistics page. Still going to take a couple of minutes, I reckon, to push this out. Oh, okay. It's saying send app from security check. This app is unknown in the Play Store. To protect yourself and others, send it to Google for security check. And I'll go, well, I'll go don't send just now. But I will send it to Google for security check anyway. To be fair, it does the security check pretty quickly if I recall. I'm pretty sure I've done that before. Okay, settings. Okay, yeah, I probably could have got away with a smaller gap for the ad, but that leaves plenty, so there's no chance to accidentally click it. And that is awesome. Right, so close. Okay. So let's go back to our snagging list. And we have a banner ad on the settings page. Boop. Actually, we're going to check the settings page. It shows a banner ad. We're going to show the stats page. And it shows a banner ad. The stats page, the close button is over the bottom of some of the text. So something's a bit wrong with that, but I can cope with that for the time being. So we've got report bad questions. Okay. Now let's go back to our guru. So I'll do thank you. In my quiz game, how will you suggest I get people to highlight questions that need auditing? Auditing, for example, where the question is incorrect, or the answer from within my Unity app. see if it can do that from that. Yep. Okay, decide where to send reports. You have a few options, depend on your setup. Easiest, offline, local. Okay, that's not an easy one to do. Twitter's API isn't free anymore, is it? Oh, hold on. Let's go back now. I wonder if this is still a thing. Good. Good. Yes. Used. Perhaps they could tweet to that to our Twitter about the problematic question. That looks a lot simpler. So it's asking if it wants me to write the ready to use pop-up UI. So what I'll do is I'll have it do that and I'll take from it what I need. Yes. Ready to... Whoa, hold on. I will add... Yeah. I'll add a report to Twitter, but also have it consider being able to post a comment under a YouTube, into the YouTube community for Amax Games. Create the ready to use Unity pop. That was just one incorrect answer or poor wording, I think. Okay, I'll add the poor wording in, but I'll probably just comment it out just to make this easy. I'm not going to add a separate report. I'm going to add this to the main brain drain. Brain drain quit script. Save me for running a separate script for it. Although, should I? Should I really? Maybe make it easier to debug if I run as a separate script. No, let's do it this way. Let's see, can report pop up? Yep. I need to remember what our Twitter handle is. I'm pretty sure it's just at Amax Games. This will definitely put us over 1,000 lines in a single script. To be fair, there's a fair few blank lines in here, but not too many. Pretty sure it's at Amax Games. Okay. Where am I supposed to put this? Report pop-up. Okay, I've not created a report pop-up, so that's going to fail. No, still not over 1,000 lines. Okay, so they need to be somewhere else. Probably inside start. That's where everything else seems to be initialized, eh? Okay. Now add these onto the end. Awesome. Save this and go back to Unity. So just close this just now. I need to change to my main game scene. Inside scenes, go to game scene. Okay. Right, so feedback.txt, for some reason it's tiny. But that's not what I come in here for. So it's under Quiz Manager. Oh, new stuff. Yeah. So what's that? Report question preview text. And the report pop-up panel. Okay. So we need a new panel. Should I just open it in this one and maybe just hide it? Okay, create a new panel called report pop-up. I'll try it in this one. Okay. What's wrong with this question? So it's a TMP text. We will need to change it. So 3 buttons and correct answer for wording or other. And another button for cancelling. Okay. So this panel, I think should actually be separate, to be honest. I'll do that in a moment. So button 1 should be incorrect answer. Button 2 should be bad wording. Button 3 should be other. And button 4 should be cancel. Okay. So let's drag this out. Drag this out to here. Okay. Probably should have its own canvas. So right click, UI canvas. Okay, let's just move that back here. Under the canvas. Okay, select the canvas. Okay, so does that mean it's been menu vertical? No, it's not. So why are they all sitting down here? Okay, they're all sitting down there because there's no way to assign it. So the best way to assign this would be a vertical net group. Yep, there we go. So let's shrink these all down again. Okay. Let's just grab this and stretch. That wasn't what I meant to do, but hey ho. Okay. Why is it stuck in the center? Can I move it? I can't move it. Okay, so right, this is back to my usual issues with not working out this stuff, isn't it? Canvas, screen space, camera, scale with screen size. Why the heck did it go all the way down there? Why in the heck did it go all the way down there? Okay, right, that's maybe better for me then. No, that's fine. If I can select all these then. I think if we just move these slightly. Can move them. I can't move these anymore. Okay, so I need to move the whole thing. Right, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Yep. Come on. Let's open it in the center. What you can get hidden for the time being. Well, I mess around with this, and as always, I should put 15 each of these. Okay. So that's a no there. That's a no there. Okay. Well, that didn't work. middle center. Okay, I need to control Z this a little because I think I've screwed this up. Right. So these should be all size anyway. Okay. Right. Okay, so we have our canvas. I think I'll need to revisit that in the future. Okay, let's go back here, create a new panel and say to add this. Okay, that's already been included. Drag the report pop-up into your report panel object. Don't need to do that. Assign pop-up panel to the panel itself. Okay, so this should be in Quiz Manager. Yep. Okay. So we'll report pop-up panel. Okay, so the question text. So question text should be dropped into that one. Okay, so that should be an incorrect button. This should be wording button. There should be other button. And there should be cancel button. Okay. Go back to Quiz Manager. And we have incorrect button, wording button, other button, and cancel button. Wouldn't need to submit button. Add a button near the question UI and link it. Okay, so I need a report question button added. I'm actually just going to try and create a random button like up here. I think. So right click. Oh no, it needs a canvas, doesn't it? Okay. Dry TMP. Rename. Report. Okay. Report question. Auto size. Stretch. Oops. That's the text I'm stretching, not the button. Okay. Right. No, Control Z. That's the text again. Resize. There we go. Now, same as rest. Okay. What's the height of the other buttons? Uh, 77. Okay. So report question should be above quit. Okay. Right. Okay. So in your brain drain add a button, you question UI and link it to open on report button clicked. Okay. Wise report pop-up instance. Okay. Because I've not saved brain drain yet. Is that maybe why? No. So report pop-up instance. Does that mean? Okay. See, it's not. I think it's digging me a hole deeper at this moment in time. Okay, so I'll just have to tell it report pop-up is underlined. Pretty sure I did. I did. Yes. Okay. which I have. Mm-hmm. Okay. Doesn't really tell me to do a text field for that, does it? Right, so there probably should be another text in here then, shouldn't there? For the question text. But that really shouldn't make a difference to how that's worked. Yeah, just give it the hell, see if it can help. I've been streaming for nearly 2 hours. I'm going to hit my limit soon with ChatGPT. I can feel it. Okay, so I know I'm going to do it. Here is my quiz.cs. Okay, that didn't, and there we go, I hit the limit, bang on. Right, okay, so okay. So we've hit our limit for this one. So let's go back to our snagging list. So that still needs to be checked, that still needs to be done. That'd be an in a center. Same. So settings and stats page are now scaling correctly. So tick these off. So in App Store, need to check the additional advert for an additional hint. Let's try that before, see if I can tick this off. Survival mode. Wait for a moment, see if it loads a hint. Okay, I'm not getting the option to load a hint. It's interesting. Okay, that doesn't seem to be working, but I think that's more of my internet access at the moment. Right, okay, so let's try and clean this up a bit. So, 1, 2, oops. 1, 2, 3. Bring the ones up that I've done. Okay, take these out. Some changes there. Do the same thing with this one, so we'll move the add in a purchase shop. So the report bad questions is still there, but the snagging list is updates or fix. Token question reporting to Twitter. Add broken question reporting as YouTube comment. And YouTube community comment. Okay. See, every time we work on something, we break something else. What did we achieve today, though? We added reporting question to Twitter. Next. And scaling issues on settings fixed. Scaling issues on stats added stats settings added add to stats. Added streak color change. Okay, yep, I think that's that. So can we think of anything else that we did or anything else we need to do? So let's just jump out of this just now. Let's ask a new chat. Can you provide code for Unity that would allow you to post a message to a YouTube community page? Okay, so you can't post directly to that API. Right. We need to tie into Google's API for that. Not really a surprise. But I can't do that because of the requirement for the client script. the client secret. I probably can't do that on stream. Okay, yeah, show me the web API. Show me the, what did I call it? Browser version. Oh yeah, I don't want to have my email and password stored, so that's not an option either. I also don't like using Chrome. That's not an option either. Oh dear. Okay, maybe need to think about that one. Maybe need to think about that one. But I mean, we are getting closer and closer to actually getting a working game together. And I think that's going to be it for this episode. I can't think of anything else that I can use to extend the stream while we're actually working on the reporting methods here. But with that in mind, thank you for tuning in our episode. As you can see, mistakes can be made. It takes a lot of time sometimes to do something very, very simple. More so when you don't know what you're doing, and even more so when you're trying to talk your way through it on a stream, and not just trying to power through and ignore everything around you. So hopefully you enjoyed that, and you can see the progress that we were making in each stream, and going forward, you'll continue to enjoy. And if you've got any feedback you can leave, by all means drop the feedback in the comments under any videos. At the moment we're not getting any comments, so it's nice and easy for us to catch up with them, so we can catch up and reply. It'll either be myself, Amax Games Davie, or Amax Games John that will get back to you. So with that in mind, thank you for your time today, and I hope to see you in the next episode.